With schools closed due to COVID-19, children who are at home will potentially have more unrestricted time online. It's important to have this time to have conversations about internet safety and to work together to implement strategies to make sure that everyone's digital well-being is, well, taken care of.
Joining us now is child and youth therapist Tania DaSilva. Good morning, Tania. How are you doing, love?
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing well. Good to see you. So obviously kids are spending more time than ever online. It was already, an issue pre-COVID-19. So what do parents do to strike that balance? How do they monitor the safety of their kids?
Well, it's completely changed because we've been talking about tech for so long where we've had these restrictions and now they've completely changed because we need tech for school to stay in touch, with friends, with family. So something that we've been doing with parents is asking them to really sit and have those conversations with their kids around what technology looks like today. So if they're using it for school, they're using it to stay in touch with their therapist, with their tutors, with their friends. Now that's the way that we need to stay in touch or the way we need to be productive. So what are those rules going to look like?
Yeah, it's a great point because we do need this now at this time more than ever. And I've got my niece who's in BC and we're on house party together and I'm like, I don't know if I like this. So what should parents be aware of with their kids and digital kind of platforms?
So a conversation we've been having a lot is just being aware of how much we're sharing, because the problem now is that it's the only way that we can stay in touch. So kids are sharing a lot more photos, they're sharing a lot more personal information because it's the only way that they're able to communicate with their friends. So going back and revisiting, your online footprint. So what are you putting out there? I know it's a little different now because of, the isolation piece, but how are we still going to stay safe? So being aware of what you put out there, the permanence of it, the impact that we're having on other people, and the impact that what we're sharing can have on us in the future.
So what sorts of things do you mean? Because I do notice people are sharing more and more about their homes, inside, outside, and there could be markers. Yeah. Is it that sort of things in terms of, we're sharing a lot because everyone feels like everyone's stuck in their homes, but maybe you're releasing more information than you should be.
Yeah, so addresses, that's a big thing. And that's something we've always talked to kids about, home addresses, phone numbers, any personal information should still stay private. But what we're seeing a lot more of is even personal photos or just personal thoughts, things that, if it is shared, they might feel embarrassed about or, they might not want everybody to see. So those are the conversations we're having a little bit more of, especially with anxieties and worries. And even for our teens, their relationships now are all digital. So just really having those conversations about what are you sharing with your partner that you might not want shared with other people.
That's great advice there. And, a lot of people get information from stuff online, whether it's a Facebook friend or something on Twitter or whatever social media kind of thing that they get it from. Adults could use this help as well. But how do you speak to kids about making sure that what they're reading might not always be 100% true?
Well, and honestly, I think I've actually seen that more in adults than in kids. It's even in our group chats, the stuff that's going around. But the way that we go about it is we want to make sure we're fact checking it. So you're looking at, the World Health Organization, you're looking at CDC, you're looking on, our government site, and that's where you're getting your information from, not the chains that are going around and the texts that are being resent or the things that are being retweeted. Because I think for us, we've all seen this in the last couple of weeks, we've all got information that ended up not being accurate or true. So even using that as, we got this and it made us feel really anxious, but it didn't actually happen. So let's make sure we're looking at credible sources.
Okay. Also, if something is posted that maybe they don't feel too good about, or if they're worried about something they saw or heard, you say encourage that dialogue. There'll be no punishment. Just keep it real and honest if something feels off.
Yeah, and that's another big conversation we've been having because it's a new time for all of us. We're all kind of navigating through how are we going to handle these new online interactions. And even for adults, it's new. So we've created a very open space where you might make a mistake and it's only natural and normal because it's a new environment, a new way to interact. So come to your parents or even come to us. A lot of our kids will come and tell us in sessions, what happened, and they use us as, a buffer or as, a connection to their parents to have those harder conversations.
For kids, what do you think, online is, I guess, what's happening the most? Is it a lot of the bullying? Is it trying to get likes on a TikTok video? What is most important and what are the conversations that kids are having the most of?
Definitely the value in likes and, how many followers they have. That's a big thing. And that's something we've been working on for months now, but really just having that conversation with kids where your value is more than just your likes and your follows. And it's interesting because for us, we used to always have this conversation about online connection isn't as important as offline connection. But now with us only having online connection, we've had to kind of tweak a lot of the conversations that we've been having. So even with how much time they're spending online, I find now we've adjusted their schedules to you're online for school, for therapy, for tutoring. Instead of scheduling an hour of social media time, we're scheduling an hour of outside time, of air time, of physical activity. So there's definitely been a switch.
Thank you so much, Tania. Great tips as always. Stay safe.